Oh man, so this video is gonna be kind of a touchy subject. I'm basically reviewing and giving my unbiased opinion of the Sony Zeiss 24-70 f4 version. This is not the 2.8 G Master, this is not the Sigma version, this is the Sony FE f4 version. My opinion, I don't know why the Sony 24-70 is so overhyped. Again, maybe the 2.8 is so much better, but this lens isn't bad, but I just don't think it's for me. I'm just on the urge of I don't know what I want to do with it. So that's why I'm making this video. Maybe someone in the comments can really help me out with it. Let's just get into it. First thing, I will say some good things about it is the versatility of it, 24-70, which is pretty good. But I initially, when I bought this lens, I kind of honestly, I bought it for the price point. I got it for a steal. I only got it for $300, which is not bad at all. For what it is, it's not bad at all. I primarily though planned on only using this for my talking head videos like this, just so I can get it wide enough so you can see me, see things in the background, and things be all good. I do not like wide angle lenses. That's why I don't own a 16-35 and I don't plan on buying a 16-35. Wide angle lenses are just, I don't like them. I like my shots, my photos, my videos nice, tight, and compressed. So this was an exception because 24 is not insanely wide. So, but really, when I was using this lens out in the field, I didn't really even find myself using the 24mm focal length at all. I actually found myself switching back from 35 to 50 constantly when I was shooting my music video. And if you know me, you know my prime lenses I have, you know I just made a video about the 50mm lens, and that is my favorite. That is my go-to, and it's always gonna stay in my bag, and nothing's gonna replace my 50. Some people don't like the 50, I love the 50, that's just me. With this lens, it did give me ease knowing that I can just zoom in and out from 35 to 50 with no hassle. So the benefit of primes is, one, they're sharper, two, they allow you to stoop down to a lower f-stop, so you can get an f1.4, you can get an f1.2, you can get an f1.8, whatever it may be. This lens, sadly, only goes down to an f4, which is not ideal for low light situation, and I used it in a low light situation where I had no lighting and I only had minimal lighting, and I was highly disappointed. I'm pretty sure if I actually had better lighting, like control lighting, I can actually get away and manipulate it much better. But when you're running guns, sometimes you're not in the reach of having that pleasure, that luxury of being able to set up your lights and have all that stuff when you're just doing run and gun. So that's something to take into consideration when buying this lens. Back to what I was saying about the prime, switching back and forth. This lens, it did make it easier for me for that, but at the end of the day, I'd rather just buy a 35 prime. Like, I'm really debating on buying a 35 prime. I'm really thinking about getting rid of this and trading it in for a 35 Zeiss millimeter lens. Because to me, it has the f1.4. A 35 looks pretty good. Like, I feel like if I do these talking heads, I can get away with a 35. Look, this is 35 right here. It's still not too close. You can still see me. You can still see things in the background. I can get away. If I wanted to, I could just back this chair up a little bit more and I'll still be good. So 35 is what I'm really thinking about, but the 24-70, I don't know how I feel about it right now. I really don't. Now, some of you guys might say in the comment section, keep 24-70 because you can use it for travel, you can use it for run and gun, you can use it for whatever. It saves you time and hassle of switching it out, which I agree with that. But if you really think about it, now I think about it, I could just buy a B cam like Sony FX30, which I'm thinking about buying, and just putting a 50 on that one and a 35 on my A7S III, and just buying a little Peak Design capture clip, putting it on the FX30, and have it hanging on my backpack. If I really wanted to, like if it was such a big issue, and I can just switch back and forth with that. Well, most people might be like, well, why do you want to carry a camera just hanging down on your backpack strap? You're gonna be carrying all these lenses in the backpack, what's the difference? You know, I can just easily, quickly grab this, shoot, put it back on, or grab the other one, shoot, put it, you know, there's no difference. You're carrying a bunch of lenses. What's the difference between carrying a second B camera, which most likely you probably are doing anyways. So that's just my mindset now that I think about it, and now I'm making this video. I might just do that and get rid of this 24-70, but I still don't know. If someone in the comment section can really convince me the good of this lens, which is really good, it's not a bad lens. Don't get it misunderstood. It's a good lens, but I just know though, for me, if I was to buy the 35mm and keep this, I just know that it being an f1.4 and it having an aperture ring on the lens, you guys know I love that. I feel like that would be my go-to. I would grab it a lot more for videos like this, and I just feel like this would just sit in my bag and just collect dust, because again, the 35 looking pretty good. I can get away with that. and I don't mind switching my lenses out. That's why I buy primes. It's not an issue for me. This lens is a one of its own. It's in its own lane, and I get people when they say like this is the best travel lens, but for me, I'm not a photographer, but when I do take photos, I like my photos nicely tight and compressed. So, and if I do take photos when I'm traveling, it's gonna most likely be like animals or somewhere off, or I don't know, stuff like that. So I personally would choose like a 100 to 400 because the 24-70, it's not really that far of a focal length. Like the only other telephoto lens that I own was a 24 to 105. I had the RF version when I had my Canon, and then I had a Sigma 24 105 when I had my Blackmagic. And even at 105, it's really like not that far. And I know some people who actually are photographers who have 24-70, they might zoom out to 70 and they probably have like the A7 IV and they can crop in with all the megapixels and they can still have high quality. But this is A7S III. If I go to 70 and something's still far out and I want to get in closer, I'm gonna start losing quality. This lens though, it does have good autofocus. It is a lot better than my 50mm prime lens, the Zeiss version. That one I noticed it would struggle here and there and it had a lot of focus breathing that was really noticeable. Oh, and also the 50mm Zeiss lens that this lens doesn't have, the 50mm, man, the autofocus motor noise was atrocious. Like it was, I don't know if it was just the one that I have or if there's an update for it or what, but that autofocus noise was hideous. This one, don't hear it. It's pretty quiet. It hasn't bothered me. Yeah, these are just some things. It's just like little minor things about the 24-70. Like I said, it's not a bad lens. It definitely is not my first choice for night photography or night video work at all. F4, nah, not at all. I'd rather pull out my 85 and just work around my 85, to be honest. F1.8, I'd rather just use that. So the question that I really need help on is, should I sell this lens? If there's anybody in the comment section can give me a good enough reason to keep this lens and maybe open up my mind to something that I could possibly use it for, but for my shooting needs, for my shooting style, I just think like this just, I don't know, it just wouldn't be something that I would grab all the time. Like I think I would enjoy the 35mm f1.4 Zeiss better than this lens. This lens does have its pros and cons, but I don't know. Maybe I just need to keep it longer, use it more, see what I like, see how the footage looked after editing this footage. Like even for photos, I really don't think I would even grab this lens for photos. Like if I wanted something that was kind of far away, I'd probably just slap on my 85. Every time I take photos, I'm normally using a 50 or 85 anyways, so I wouldn't really see myself even using this for photos. I don't know, there's just so much things that I gotta think about with this lens. Maybe I gotta use it a lot more. I just bought it, so I'm not gonna sit here and make an impulsive decision because I did just buy it. And it's just, like I said, there's a lot of good to this lens. There really is a lot of good, but it being an f4, maybe I gotta try the f2.8 version. Maybe that one I'll fall in love with it so much more. It'll give me that nice compression that I like. It'll give me the bokeh balls in the background that I like. It might give me that. It might give me that more cinematic look that I like. I don't know, but for now, the f4. What I say for today's video, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you're sick of me talking about 24-70 and you're like mad at everything that I'm saying about this lens, leave in the comment section below. Let me know why you're mad at me for not feeling this lens like how everybody else does. Let me know your opinion. I'd love to see it. But that's it for today's video. You might see me in the next video with a 35. You might not. If I do sell it, I'll probably make another video updating it, why I sold it, because I'll probably have more experience with it by then and just give you my honest opinion then. If not, I might keep it. Who knows? At this point, I really just don't know. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Abiantu, bonjourni.